Launching and sustaining a business in India comes with unique challenges. I have found a game-changing report, the secret to boost your sales and navigate intricacies of Indian market. In this video, we will explore the insights from the Indus Valley report by Blume Venture. Let's dive into it. Hey, what's up? I'm CPY and I've been running a startup in India, or at least I've been trying to, and today we are about to dive into some game-changing insights that you can use while running a startup in India. So let's kick things off with the Indus Valley report. Right on the very first page, it slabs the diversity of India. We are talking about adopting the blockchain technology to issue a car certificate, a blend of ancient tradition and a cutting-edge tech. It says the blockchain company Polygon has issued 65,000 car certificates. It's like two completely opposite sides of the spectrum. So now, here's a mind-blowing fact. India is the fastest growing world economy. For the financial year of 2022 and 2023, our GDP hits a whooping $3.5 trillion, making us number one in growth. But there is always a but. India underinvests in gross fixed capital formation. Confused? Imagine India and China, buddies baking cakes. India loves the cake but often forgets to upgrade the kitchen. Meanwhile, China is not only enjoying the cake but also keep upgrading its kitchen. Now, on to some other micro indicators. Our income per capita is $2,450, a far cry from China's $12,970. But hey, we are 10 years younger with a median age of 28. And guess what? We are the fastest growing world economy. Boom. Now, let's talk about tech. India's service sector, especially IT BPM service sector, rules the roost, contributing 50% to our GDP. It employs 5 million directly and supports whooping 12 million indirectly. That's nearly 30% of all the white collar jobs of India. Moving on, we have a total 1.4 billion people, and which is already ahead of China. The interesting fact is that India's median age is 28, where the China's median age is around 38. So we are kind of 10 years younger than the China. Where world inflation is 8.8%, our inflation is around 6.8%. Our equity market is $3.5 trillion, which is the fifth largest in the world. As India has always entrepreneurial country, we have 12 million retail outlets compared to the US, which has only 1 million outlets. In India, there are 65 million MSME, out of which 70% are the sole proprietary, compared to China that have around 140 million MSME. Our formally organized workforce is only 10%. Now, the data revolution. Thanks to Geo, India consumes data like it's going to out of style. We have got the cheapest data packs globally, just a smidge above Israel. Now, let's talk about social media. WhatsApp and YouTube reigning supreme with a combined user base of 967 million. But here's a twist. All other social apps have combined a market cap of $4.5 billion. Snapchat alone in 2022 earned more just from the USA. WhatsApp has around 500 million active users in India. YouTube has 467 million active users. Out of 600 active smartphones in India, we have around 500 million where the WhatsApp is already available. Alright, let's talk about consumption. India's consumption is relatively low. Only 37 million unique mutual fund investors, 35 to 40 million unique credit card holders, and just 7.5% of India's household owns a car. It's a peek into the spending habit of a vast population. A car in a house is a very good indicator of you being a top in the country. Only 13% of Indians who study between 1st to 12th spends 1,000 rupees per month in a school fee. Now let's dig into the employment landscape. India's gig economy is thriving. Over 15 million gig workers contribute to the India's economy, contributing to the economic engine. The flexible work model is reshaping how we perceive traditional employment. The next slide shows how undersized consumer class we have. 12% of India makes $1,600 or less than that in a year. 50% of India makes $1,600 to $6,000 in a year. 6% of our population makes 6,000 to 38,000. If you make more than $38,000 in India, congratulations, you are in the top 5% of India. And speaking of flexible work, remote work is on the rise. In 2022, staggering 75% of India's business adopted remote work policies, showcasing a shift of traditional 9 to 5 pattern. Now on to the demographic landscape of India. India is a young nation with over 60% of our population is below the age of 30. This youth demographic presents immense opportunities for businesses and startups which are targeting tech-savvy and trend-setting generation. Now, let's talk about startups. The Indian startup ecosystem is on fire. With over 60 unicorns and counting, these innovative companies and startups have spanned across diverse sectors from fintech to health, showcasing India's depth and breadth, entrepreneurial spirit. Wrapping it up, we have got not one, not two, but multiple Indias. India 1, India 2 and India 3 each have unique stories, its own GDP contribution and its own pace of life. And hey, don't forget the diaspora of 18 million strong, transferring $100 billion in remittance just in 2022, and that's more than all the FDI combined in India. Lastly, the startup revolution. Smaller towns are teaming up their game with an increasing number of startups emerging thanks to angel investor and shows like Shark Tank India. The startup ecosystem is spreading its wing beyond the tier 1 cities of India. So there you have it, folks, a deep dive data into that shapes the heartbeat of India's entrepreneurial landscape. The next slide shows the two India, what Veer Das was referring to. We have one India where people eat our, which is representation of wealthy India. It's an indication of premium consumption in India. This population of India, this percentage of population thinks this kind of lifestyle everyone has. On the other hand, we have a very large population which is represented by bananas. In a so decoupled, we have a representation of these two fruits in a same frame. Avocado is a representation of premium fruit which only some percentage of people in the world can afford it. When we go a little deeper into these reports, we have 3-4 India. India 1 has 120 million people and contributes to $1.4 trillion to our GDP. India 2, which has around 100 million people, that generates around $300 billion to our GDP. India 3 has 1,200 million people and that generates only $1.8 trillion to our economy. India 3 is around 10 times size of India 1 and still generates 20 to 25% more than India 1. Makes you really question, is India truly a one country? Whereas India 1 frequently transits, but India 2 occasionally. India 1 is the population where all the apps like Zomato, Cred, Swiggy, Instamart, Zepto are targeting. Only a small bunch of frequent spenders are helping them to generate a good money. And that's a wrap, folks. If you found these insights as mind-bending as I did, smash the like button. Subscribe for more content like this and drop a thought in the comments. Until next time, this is CPY signing off.